What is up, 7 Days to Die fans? It is me, Ojama Garrett's, back with another tier list. Long overdue, I believe. I haven't been playing a lot of 1.0. I think the most I played was in the series, and then maybe 5 to 10 hours afterwards. But after getting a feel for the land and kind of just going over all the skills and seeing all the armor and stuff like that, I feel like I am now ready to give you my judgment on what is a good weapon, what is not a good weapon for the 7 Days to Die 1.1, 1.0 release weapon tier list. So let's just jump right into it. And if you're new here, I'm Ojama Garrett. I'm a gamer dog, and I'm really trying to grow this channel. So if you do like what you see, just want to get this out of the way, consider giving me a subscribe, a like, or whatever. I'm releasing content, good gameplay, just tutorials, stuff like that. Leave me feedback. I'm here for you guys. I'm here, to entertain, to whatever. And would appreciate any support. Thank you very much. Okay, let's hop right into the tier list. So, first on the list, we got ourselves a robot sledge. And okay, so let's talk about perspective here. Okay, I could put this in D. I could put this in SS. It's toss up. It depends on how you want to look at this item. I know that there is a lot of exploits. I would consider them exploitative. Goes against the what I feel is the spirit of 7 Days to Die. You can use sledges to abuse a lot of mechanics to make like AFK bases for the Horde Knight. They do have a lot of crowd control and stuff like that. So for Horde bases, these do. So I mean, like if you want to take that away, you could say for utility for defending a Horde base, still usable in the B tier, but when it comes down to just like running and gutting and looting and usefulness on your toolbar, it's not that useful. But I'm just going to slide it up there just because of the crowd control it offers you and the defense ability of a Horde Knight. What a robot sledge really does offer you. And I think it's so good that it's almost exploitative to the game. Junk turret. I am not a super big fan of using junk turrets, but they are okay. I think they're okay. They require a little bit. They're okay for a couple reasons. They increase your DPS. They require a lot of mechanical management, and that sounds annoying, but that's not always a bad thing. It may enhance your game experience personally. If you have more things to manage to deal with problems, it can be a lot more fulfilling for certain players to use this in accordance. It'll make you feel safer while you're breaking open a lock or a gun safe, for example. In the early game, you drop this behind you. Or what I like to do sometimes when I get a junk turret early, or I've tried this playstyle a few times, is I will throw the junk turret down if I get one early enough at the front door of a POI, run in there, smack a bunch of stuff, run through the POI, get all the sleepers to wake up, run back outside, and then use the junk turret to fire into the crowd to work as kind of like a stagger crowd control while it hits them. Plus, the DPS on the junk turret is pretty okay. It's not horrible. It's not nothing. So it is okay. It has some niche uses. And in terms of like, if you want to talk about like, if you want to split hairs, it's probably a C tier weapon, I think. But because of the fun factor, I want to bump it up to B because it is fun, adds more mechanics, and it's not bad. Okay, the ammo is easy and cheap to get. It's just a decent, it comes online a lot earlier than weapons. You feel a lot more able to use junk turret ammo. And yes, it requires more mechanics, but more mechanics equals more complexities, which is like what games are. So in a way, it's just more fun. I think it's more fun. I like mechanics, so I think it's fun. This thing, what it's supposed to do is really good. Med kits heal you and stuff like that. I personally haven't grinded to get another one, but in all the versions prior, with a long enough play, when you play long enough, you run into glitches eventually, and these things would fall through the bottom of the earth. But what they're supposed to do, super cool, super strong, healing you, following you. It is an extra inventory, so it is S tier. If it's still glitchy, like I said, I didn't actually get to the point. And even if I did get to the point, I wouldn't trust it just because of the bad experiences I had in the previous alphas unless I heard it from somebody else. personally that these are not broken anymore. I would put this in a D just because they are buggy. But if somebody told me, hey, that bugs are all cleaned up, you don't kind of worry about it anymore, I would throw this up in an S tier. But just because I'll just split the difference and put it in B tier, just, waiting to hear about it. But again, like I said, even if I got to it, I wouldn't use it just because of the bad experiences. Primitive bow, I'm going to slide into the SS tier. I saw a couple other people. Other tier lists, I saw they also put the primitive bow into the high ranks, and I'm going to do it for the same thing. And that is because how fast it comes online and how important it is to fight with a missile weapon in the early game when you have no access to resources to stop any debuffs that happen to you, any crowd controls that happen to you if you accidentally get hit by a zombie. And the primitive bow is the earliest option for you to take, potentially have no risk in any fight, because you can put 5+ meters between you and your target and deal damage to them without having any problems. So that is very important. It is just sticks, it is just grass, and it is just online. You know what I mean? You just wander around, you find bird nests, the feathers, all the ingredients for this thing just fall in your lap. Plus, you can just pick arrows back up, so the ammo is refillable, so it's very easy to manage, and it's a lot of damage for the early game. A lot of perks. You can get perks right into it really quickly and make it like to help you carry. The primitive bow will get you to your next weapon very, very, very smoothly, very easily. So I think it is higher than the junk sledge as well. I think it is so far, the best item in the game, the best weapon in the game by far. Now we have ourselves a crossbow. Crossbow, if you want to talk early game, if you roll a crossbow or get one online very early, it is very good. And wooden bow, maybe I should just talk about all of them separately. I'll talk about bows and crossbows maybe separately. If you can get an iron crossbow specifically online early enough, it is very, very, very strong, because it is the closest thing to a gun. It wipes pipe guns off the planet, and it is pretty much silent. It has like no drop, so it's really super good. You can headshot zombies and just blow their heads off. You could probably clear an entire POI if you knew where all the zombies were without waking a single one up with this, and the ammunition isn't that hard to attain. So yeah, just a really good all-around weapon. It is an A tier, but as the game goes on, it does fall down the list, especially an iron crossbow, because of the upgrades that are afforded to you. So when it comes in, because of that, if you got it like day 2 somehow, or I don't know, if you rush this thing would be super strong. But as the days would go on, it would just fall down the list. But I'm just going to leave it at A tier just until the list maybe fleshes itself up, and I'll move it down if I need to. Wooden bow. It's an upgrade of the primitive bow. It comes online a little bit easier. It is good. Arrows are a little bit, I prefer using bows. I like the feel of the draw and the fire and stuff like that. But it's kind of the same argument as the crossbow, just a little bit worse in stats, in range, in drop, etc. Now we have the compound bow, which is an upgraded version of the wooden bow, and I would probably put it in the same tier, except for it is the highest tier, so it probably just belongs in a tier higher just because of that. But the main thing I want to talk about with bows is you'd think on their face that they should be lower, but if you get your hands on a lot of explosive arrows, they all of a sudden become like almost your best friend. Like, it is so good. I think I have a previous video on my channel where I fight a horde and pretty much just cycle between sniper rifle rounds and then use explosive arrows to clear groups of them so they can't pile on top of each other and climb buildings, allowing you to get away with cheaper horde bases so that you can focus on other areas if you're not really a horde-based builder. You're more of a running gunner. Explosive arrows really do come online, and the compound bow would be your best option for using explosive arrows, okay? Compound crossbow, same thing. One tier higher than the iron just because of that same thing, and you got exploding crossbow bolts. Exploding crossbow bolts fire a lot simpler. They're a lot more smooth. They land where you want them to land a lot easier. You can fire them further away, so they're safer, so you're not blowing yourself up. And that is the greatest perk of the compound crossbow. Again, with that specific use case, I would put it here. If we're going to talk about these items, I want to talk about them in their best light possible. I want to note things that make them worse, but I don't want to just say, okay, because sometimes this is bad, this is no longer an S tier. You know what I mean? At its best, it's up here. At this item's best, it's up here. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say. Rocket launcher, I think for fun factor, SS just makes it fun factor SS, and it is just like, you know what I mean. You got frag grenades and you got demo grenades. So like one thing I like to do particularly if I get late enough into a game and I want to go through a POI, I don't necessarily like going through the dungeon style RPG when I'm just like worried about like getting through a POI and getting it done. Sometimes I'll load up a bunch of rockets and I'll just blow this out of the building up and then just waltz in the way direction I want to go and just take no prisoners. That's really fun. The damage is really high. You can deal with a lot of a lot of problems with the rocket launcher. And if you got like a whole team of people firing rockets, it is a sight to see into mobs of zombies running up trying to destroy your base. And the XP you can get from explosives, from just big stacks of zombies and triggering huge respawn events and just sitting there just hosing them, just lighting them up, just getting them with them rockets. It's big XP drops all around, and that's also very nice for 7 Days to Die, is things like that to allow lots of XP in a short amount of time. Anyway, sorry. Yep. Pipe pistol, C. It's got a use. It has a use, okay? So pipe pistol or pipe weapons, you're gonna hear me talk about a lot. If anybody's watching any of my streams, it's sprinkled throughout my content. Maybe I'll clip it up, post some clips of my personal thoughts on things. The interesting bits from each of my little streams or whatever, I'll dig through them and try to clip farm my own shit maybe. But pipe weapons are supposed to suck. I understand. But each pipe weapon has their own purpose. The purpose is it is like a go-between melee into your firearms. And it's a way for you to utilize early ammunition that you find, and it's a nice little piece of progression from A to B to C. You know what I mean? It's a nice little smooth transition. It feels a little bit better than the primitive bow, but it's not like crazy good. You get 6 shots. You have the balance at the unnaturally god-awful long reload time with the movement speed debuff. So it makes it so you have to like use them. You have to be very intelligent about using them too. So the pipe pistol's niche is that it has 6 shots. So if you take your time and you place 6 shots, headshots on a target, you can very easily bring down targets. Also, too, I want to point out that in a pinch, when a wolf runs up on you early game, I don't know, or a zombie dog, you can pop them 6 times in the head and kind of bring them down, or like use that in conjunction with a melee weapon to get a lot of DPS on the hot target, and that is useful. That is its use. Is getting like if you had a few pipe pistols, you could run through. You could get a lot of DPS without having to reload. There's simple strategies like that. Even though that sounds like kind of a big investment, unless you get really lucky with loots. Still, it is a niche. It's supposed to be bad. It's not that useful. C tier, pretty clear. Okay. Pistol. Boom. Toilet pistol. It's tough. I think it's just A tier because it's just good. It is so good. And one of the reasons it is so good is because it's not bad as well, but it's not spectacular. But if you get a toilet pistol early game, you get your handgun online, this is your nice, consistent DPS. Good reload speed, good damage. I said DPS, sorry. Good range, just an all-around good weapon, and it's not bad. 9mm is the easiest of the ammo to come upon. Handgun, just good. The Dirty Harry, same thing. Has a lot more stopping power. I would actually kind of flash it in between here too, because it's only 6 shots, does a lot more damage, but the reload feels a little bit longer. But it does pack a lot bigger of a punch. They're a little bit more rare, so when, or at least in my experience, they're a little bit more rare. So when they do come online, you have better options anyway. So that kind of makes like when this gun comes into the game, that it's not a big as deal as it comes out to be. That you'd pretty much be doing most of the things with the revolver that you would be with the handgun anyway. Yeah, I would say Desert Eagle is on par with the 9mm because it does carry a lot of that stopping power with pistol magazines. So the reload speed is a little bit higher with a little bit more damage, so a little bit more pack a punch. Feels a lot better there. SMG I would put into the A tier. Like if there was an in-between tier, like an A+, I would put it there. So I guess we could just represent that by moving it down the list. So the SMG would be at the top of this list because I feel like it is a fast machine gun, uses 9mm. I think it's affected by pistol. I don't remember off the top of my head. I feel kind of stupid for not knowing that off the top of my head, but please forgive me. This is like my 12th video I've made today. But yeah, So SMG, really like the feel of it. Really like the iron sights with it. It does good damage. It is a fun little gun, and it's just really cool. It's not bad, and it's like a handgun on steroids. So it's like pretty cool gun. Nice, really nice. I will say the pipe machine gun is going to go into S tier because the rate it comes online and what it offers you when it comes online. So if you get a pipe machine gun in the early game, which is not that effective because all pipe machine guns are built the same, they are all made of the same thing. What the pipe machine gun affords you is the ability to survive day 7 horde by itself in pretty much a box structure if you really wanted to. If you were really, really putting your mind to surviving day 7 with a cheap amount of firepower, or cheap, easily accessible amount of firepower, get yourself a few pipe machine guns, a couple pipes to repair yourself, and then maybe 200 rounds, 1 to 200 rounds, which isn't out of the world. It's not that difficult to pick up that type of stuff, and it's just super simple, and it's easy and consistent to segue in from a primitive bow into a pipe machine gun very, very, very quickly. Thus, pipe machine gun is an S tier. Past day 7, obviously it's going to lose its effectiveness because you're going to be finding other firearms and stuff like this. This is one of those items, just like the crossbow, that as time goes on, it falls down the list. But when it comes online, it is a beast. It deals with all of your problems. The reload speed even feels like it's less, and it's just the king of kings in the sphere it comes in. The AK-47, really like it. It will go ahead of the pipe machine gun. Same with the tactical assault rifle. I think these just go to the top of the A tier because these are your all-around bread and butter rifles that get you through the mid game into the late game and start to segue you into the high-class weapons like the M60. So I am highlighting the M60 up here just to represent the progression here. Your tactical assault rifle. Sorry, I've been playing so much Darkness Falls, I don't remember if this takes 7.6. I'm pretty sure it's 9.0. Tactical assault rifle and the AK-47 are your assault rifles. They do, your generic good DPS more, DPS more. So, you see this nice progression here. You got primitive bow, progress to pistol, progress to maybe a crossbow, then you get your hands on your first machine gun. We'll just call these machine guns. Then you got your mid-game machine guns here at the top of the A tier list, and that pretty much is bread and butter for most of the mid-game. So we'll say like day 21 plus to whatever, whenever you get these things, the next upgrade in your kit. And that's where the M60 comes in, which is your chopper, your lawnmower, the the lay him down machine. You know what I'm saying? You get the boom, lots of damage, lots of firepower, multiple of these on your toolbar. Then you can just keep shooting forever and keep killing zombies forever, especially looking down on their sweet juicy heads and blowing them all up like melons. Moving on, we have the pipe rifle. The pipe rifle I might slide that up into B tier. I'm still thinking about it. So it is a toss up between the top of C tier and B tier, just because what it affords you as a pipe weapon. So all the pipe weapons have one niche use, except for the pipe machine gun. Okay, pipe machine gun aside, the rest of the pipe weapons are supposed to be bad, but are decent at one thing. The handgun is kind of, the close quarters, quick. Oh gosh, I need 6 shots. I need to get 6 shots quick to get me out of a pinch. Get me out of the pickle. The pipe rifle is your 1 shot, 1 kill. You got your lone zombie off in between you and home, and you're 70 encumbered or something like that. You can't be 70 encumbered on this. Sorry, it's Darkness Falls. You're 20-something encumbered. You're crawling. Your legs broke. Whatever. You saw a zombie. You saw a wolf. It's in between you and where you want to be. You don't want to risk it, or you saw like an animal and you want to kill it. Pipe rifle, sneak shot, kill on a headshot, does enough damage that it does really just deal with everything one at a time really well, because not so great in close quarters because it's a 1 shot, but it is superb because it has hunting rifle range and it can hit that range. So again, top of C is probably a good spot for the pipe rifle. You never feel bad finding one early. You know what I mean? So hunting rifle, slap that in bottom of A or top of B. I personally love using the hunting rifle. I use it for way longer than I'm supposed to, just because I love the aesthetic of it, the bolt action, 1 shot, conservation of ammo. Just feels good to shoot. You get a scope on it, then you feel like a sniper, man. You feel like a World War I sniper. It's a really fun gun, but I'm trying to say like actual effectiveness of the weapon too. I don't think it ranks really higher than the Desert Eagle. I don't think it really ranks higher than the pistol. I don't think it ranks higher than the compound bow. I don't really even think really it ranks higher than the iron crossbow, because all these things do what the hunting rifle does, but just a little bit better. Except for, this, and what for these things lack, it is made up for in DPS, as in multiple bullets and the ability to just deal with multiple targets without having to reload. That's why these are higher. But the hunting rifle is just an all-around good gun. It's your middle of the road. You feel good when you get the hunting rifle. It's just a good grab early. It's a nice gun. Lever action, on the other hand, that's a tough one. Okay, so you got your machine guns, right? Where would I put this? It depends. So in its best light, I would put lever action ahead of machine guns. And the reason why I personally would do that is because of penetration. If you get penetration on these things, they hit like 3 targets. Armor piercing rounds pierces 1. And then you get like 3 targets or something like that. If they're all headshots, 1 shot equals potentially 3 kills, 3, 4 kills, 2 to 4 kills. I don't remember off the top of my head, but 1 shot equals multiple kills potentially. And it has multiple rounds. So let's take, it's like 5 rounds with, I don't know if you can get the ammo extenders in these. Sorry, I don't do a lot of mods. I kind of like use things and throw them away. That's kind of my play style. I'm not really attached to anything. I'm not really about like modding something out or like going for mods to optimize my kit. I just kind of play the game and I'm more of a looter and, I got something new, throw this away type thing. So I'm not 100% on all the details of like what goes on what, but still scoped, sneak shots, does a high single target damage. Rifles do more damage than machine guns, and it penetrates. So you potentially do more damage to more targets with less shots. So even, let's talk about the Horde. Let's talk about Horde, right? So you got an AK-47. Your first instinct is AK-47 extended mag. I got a 47 round clip. 5 on the bar. Boom, 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 boom. You got bullets for days. You're killing zombies, right? They're not hunting rifle, but the lever action, on the other hand, 5 rounds, 7 rounds, whatever it is. If you have like a stair base where they're coming at you at an angle and you can go push, 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 you are just like, you're just ripping through zombie flesh with less shots. And it's still a toss up. I would put this one behind. It's still a toss up between where this belongs here. But me personally, I would just put it slightly ahead of the AK-47 based on playstyle, based on that penetration. And I would really have to make a video doing a side-by-side comparison to really say which one's better overall. But I have a feeling, my gut instinct says the lever action, in my experience, would perform better in more situations than the AK-47 would. That's just me. Sniper rifle, on the other hand, same thing. This thing, it's a clip, it's a high magazine, armor-piercing rounds, fast reload speed. You can get the full auto mod on it. You can click really fast, and you can get the same amount of you get a very comparable rate of fire as to other machine guns and stuff like that. Plus, you have all the penetration attached. So the sniper rifle, for me, kind of a no-brainer. Pipe shotgun, worst gun in the game, should not exist. This should not exist. So again, I'll bring it up one more time. I think this is the last time I'll bring it up in a video, maybe. But this is kind of the perfect place for it. There's a little story. I got into the 7 Days to Die Facebook page, and I brought up a complaint about the pipe shotgun. And the pipe shotgun complaint was that it is a piece of shit. It does everything the pipe rifle does, but just 10%. It sometimes kills a zombie in 1 shot if you get point blank. The reload speed is like 4.5 seconds, and you are pretty much frozen in space to reload this thing. So I proposed a buff to the pipe shotgun because, like I said before, when I was talking about pipe weapons, is that they're supposed to have one use. They're not supposed to be good, but they're supposed to be useful for one thing, and that's their niche, early game niche. Okay. I think that lowering the reload speed of a pipe shotgun, because if anybody's heard of a zip gun, whatever that's called, with the slam fire, a zip shooter, I forgot what they called. They use them in like third world countries to fight like guerrilla tactics or something like that, or like old gangsters used to do it. You take 2 pipes, one of the pipes has a nail in it, you stick a shotgun shell in one of them, and it's a slam fire. And that's essentially what the pipe shotgun is supposed to be, but they kind of gave it all this extra like sexiness to it to make it more like Fallout-esque, which is cool. It's cool. But if you think about it realistically, the thing would take you almost no time to reload because it's one shotgun shell. There's no like bolt, or it doesn't have to be a bolt like at a rifle. There's no like fancy. You don't need to be super fancy with the firing mechanism. It could have just been a slam fire, like with the handle going like that, causing a slam fire action, which would allow you to reload it very quickly. So it makes sense in the immersion. And then also giving it that faster reload speed would actually give it a niche where you'd want to use it over other things because, yeah, I can take a pop shot, but then I can quick reload, run back in, take a pop shot, and you could just, you could be like an operator clearing out a house with the pipe shotgun and feel kind of cool using it, but it just feels bad, okay? So now anybody here who has watched or played older versions of 7 Days, you will remember the blunderbuss. And the blunderbuss and the pipe shotgun are the same thing. But the main difference is, and I got to go back to my Facebook story, I'm sorry. The blowback I got from it was really annoying, and I want to make comments on it. But anyway, the reason why the blunderbuss was okay, that it was a piece of shit and it slowed you down and all that other stuff, is that because it was super cheap. What? So the blunderbuss is was such a good gun to use in the old versions of the game because it used stones, gunpowder, and paper for its ammunition. So the ammo was easy to find and it was easy to create. So then you could use multiple of them on the action bar and it would be okay. So it was kind of like your primitive firearm. It felt cool. It had a thing going on. Plus, I felt like the blunderbuss had more knockdown back in the day. I don't know. Maybe that was just me. And you're not using shotgun shells. Like expensive ammunition doesn't become expensive later in the game, but early in the game, all those bullets really matter. But anyway, Facebook said they're supposed to be dumb. They're supposed to suck, bro. You're not supposed to buff things that suck. You're not supposed to use them. So then my comment there is that, why is it in a game? It just makes you feel bad every time you come upon it. The whole point of playing a game is to have fun. So why is there items in the game that make no sense? And then the other thing is that other people are trying to teach me how to use a pipe shotgun like I've never played before, which in their to be fair, I like that they were trying to help me, but like they told me, oh yeah, bro, you just have to have like 5 of them on your action bar. But it's like, it seems a lot to invest into something that's supposed to be shitty to make it still not as good as a pipe rifle, because the pipe rifle, you can just take shots across the room and you can always be taking shots in a safe distance away so that you have time to make the reload. So that's all I'll say about the pipe shotgun. It is garbage. It should not even be on the list because it shouldn't even be in the game unless it has a sort of balance like that. Okay, so now the double barrel is everything the pipe shotgun should be because it reloads fast, it shoots twice, and it has a lot of softened powder. It's a pretty good gun. I would put it right before all your machine guns. Just a pretty good gun. Pump shotgun, I would slide up to S tier because the pump shotgun is very bread and butter. Personal bias, I like the pump shotgun more than the M60, but the M60 is probably better than the pump shotgun. But the pump shotgun is an S tier. Room clear, feels really good, does a lot of damage. Auto shotgun, even better than the M60. I don't know. I feel like the auto shotgun is really good. It's got a clip, does a lot of damage. It's a lot of clear, stuff like that. Maybe it's better than the M60, but I'm pressed. This is kind of like a toss-up to me. I don't know. I would not put it ahead of the sniper rifle just because of all the things the sniper rifle can do that the shotgun cannot do. But the auto shotgun is just really good. Maybe the sniper should be that, and then this go there. Maybe that. Maybe that looks right. I'm not 100% sure. The junk baton, I think it's kind of garbage. The pipe baton, sorry. I think it's kind of garbage. I don't like blunt weapons that much. Bone knife, this is a controversial one. A lot of people don't like this take, but I think the bone knife should be right behind the primitive bow. And the same reason of the primitive bow, you land in the game, you find some dead carcasses, you get a bone online, and with the bone knife, you are awarded an effect called bleed, and that bleed allows you to do a lot of damage for free. So if you get a couple like I don't like the the auto frame went down to my kid. Oh my gosh. Here. Hello. Okay. The melee weapons, I don't like melee weapons. Melee weapons are good later in the game, but early in the game when you have no access to resources, they're super dangerous. So I would put like the bone knife is one of the higher tier ones. I prefer it the most. There is a debate to be had about where the bone knife actually belongs, but I feel like it belongs here just because of how fast you can get it, like within 5 minutes of you coming into the game, and now you have access to something that applies bleed to your targets, and then you can run around in circles and wait for them to die. That's why I think the bone knife is super good as a weapon. Hunting knife, same thing, but because of when it comes online, it's not as good as this, so that I would drop it down into a low A. Machete, kind of the same thing. I don't like the machete even as much as the knife, so I will drop it down. I think the wooden club's kind of bad, but same argument. Bone knife, it is really, really early. Obviously, it's like 6 wood and just comes online for wood, but maybe top of S, maybe the bottom of S, just because it is your early game weapon, so it is very important. But again, after the first A, it's already S, and then after the second A, it's already A. It falls off really, really fast, so maybe the bottom of S. Wooden bat, decent weapon, feels good swinging it, feels like it does a good amount of damage, a lot of knockdowns. It's just a fun weapon, but I don't think it's nothing special, nothing to write home about it. I would put it in front of the hunting knife actually just because of damage, but the steel club, I think it's kind of an ugly weapon. I've never really liked the steel club, but I do think that it has a lot of damage and it is playable and it's a good weapon. And as you spec up, it does become much, much better. Leather knuckles, nothing to write home about. Iron knuckles, they're okay. I'd put them in the B tier. They're okay. Steel knuckles, I know the punch build is like unkillable, so this thing can become the best thing in the game. The monk build or something like that. I think I saw some videos about that. I've never personally gone into it, but just based on all those videos, if you can create an unkillable build with knuckles, I would put steel knuckles at the top. Stone sledge, I think, is pathetic. It's kind of a meme. Use a lot. The crowd control, I don't think is that good. If it had like a cleave, like a better cleave, or higher chance of knockdown just on all the hits, or break their legs, or some sort of crowd control like that to justify the stamina cost, because in the early game, stamina is everything. Stamina is everything and always, but you always want high stamina, and Stone Sledgehammer requires you to invest a god-awful amount of stamina just to use the thing. So I think it's just kind of trash. Same with this Iron Sledge. I'm just going to put it in D just because, they're better versions of a bad thing, and they do high damage later in the game, but still, same argument. Spear, up here, right? I'm going to put it up here just for the same, the early game. This gives you range. So it is a safe weapon that is immediately online when you come into the game. It's just spears do not bleed. So I just don't prefer that. It uses a lot of stamina, but you can stab from a range safely. So if you are patient and take your time, you can stab multiple times from a range, but sometimes it creates like a tunnel vision effect. And versus the bone knife playstyle, you're kind of just stabbing and running. So you're more, I feel like, more aware, situationally aware with the knife fighting style of play, and then waiting for a target to die and checking it what else. But like with the spear, I don't know. Maybe that just might be just me, like, just making shit up a little bit. I feel like it is personal experience. When I use the spear and I'm sitting here trying to like find the range and then poke the same target, I feel like I'm more tunnel vision, trying to focus on staying out of range but hitting a weird melee. Yeah. So then I would just put the spear. Spears are good. It's good. Steel spear, I don't think it's A tier. I don't think they're really good, and this might give me some blowbacks. People might disagree with me here. Molotov cocktails. I really like Molotov cocktails for damage. I think the damage has been increased since earlier versions. In the earlier versions, it felt like cocktails weren't doing that much damage, but it is a very good area of effect. Burn feels very good. Does a lot. Gets a lot done. Stacks a lot of damage on zombies early, and it is fun. Pipe bomb. Same biz, bro. You can just wipe out whole rooms of these suckers. You can get them to pile up right below you on your base and just drop a few off. You just drop them off without lighting them. Light the third one, and then it'll cause a chain reaction of explosions, which will just wipe them all out. Just take out a whole cluster of zombies for a very cheap investment. Contact grenades, top of S because I love contact grenades. They just bottom of SS. I just really like contact grenades. You just pull the pin, say see you later to your problems. You'll take out you'll wipe out a whole bunch of bears, or not necessarily bears. Maybe a few of them will take out bears, but you can just a few of these bad boys, and you can just make all your problems go away. Just blow everybody up, knock down stacks of zombies that are trying to pile each other, trying to climb through your shit. Yes, they are a little bit dangerous, but they are just very useful at taking out large groups of zombies. And then the normal grenade will just go a little bit ahead. We'll just kind of put it here because it is a little bit harder to use to like time the cook of your grenade. So this is very difficult. Chime charges kind of a fun item to blow safes up and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of very much usefulness. I like dynamite. It's not, I wouldn't even call this more of a weapon more than just like a tool. Like you can use it, like I said, with the rockets to blow up walls, to skip through, to do a skip. I call them skips in my playthrough. You can skip to do a fetch. So like the package is on one side of the building, so you throw a couple TNTs near it to blow the wall up, go in there, snatch it, and run away because you have a hole in the side of the wall that you can run in and out of very easily. But it's very useful, so I would put it somewhere in the A tier. We'll just slide it right there just for lack of whatever. A lot of people like batons. They think it's really good. They think it's broken or something like that, but I just never really liked them, so I'm kind of biased against this. But I do respect it, so I will just put it in S tier. We'll just put it, let's put it there. That makes sense. And that is it. That's all I got for the 1.0 1.1 tier list for 7 Days to Die. Hope you guys enjoy. Please tell me your comments down below. Please subscribe if you like content like this or whatever to help the channel grow. Really appreciate your support, stuff like that, yada, yada. Sorry, I said yada, yada. Like, I feel like I've been talking so much. I'm just trying not to. Whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, let me know what you think down below. Let's talk about it. Maybe I'll need to make an update, whatever. I don't know. Let's just these are fun. I like these a lot. And I saw this other guy, I think his name's like something Leprechaun. He did a lot of tier lists on a lot of like the little nuances of 7 Days. I never really thought about it. I always thought about armor, or not armor, but I always thought like what's the best attribute and what's the best weapons. I've never really thought about like the like doing tier lists and the different nuances of that. So I might do, I might just copy him or be inspired. Sorry, don't want to sound like copying, but give my opinion on all the lists that he made too. Be kind of fun. It'd be really cool. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys later.